I'm Ashton Addison from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews with Asif Kamal, CEO and founder of ArtFi. Asif, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much, Ashton. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, excited to dive into art, which is a huge industry with a lot of capital, and the merging of it into blockchain with tokenization, real-world assets. I know your team is deep in art, and I don't know too much about the old-fashioned art world, but I know that it needs to be revolutionized. So I'm excited to see someone's doing it. I'd love to start off our conversation with sort of a high level on how exactly ArtFi is revolutionizing art, and then we can dive into all the details.
First of all, thank you very much. And yeah, it was much needed, to be honest. I want to tell you that I am the guy from my team who have the historical knowledge about the art field. I am art connoisseur by profession. I have been into art business for around 14 years. And the reason to bring this whole business model on blockchain was my personal fantasy to democratize this asset class, because I have been experiencing a lot of people in my network and around the world who have a passion to participate in this asset class financially, but because of a lot of barriers that we have, they don't participate. Even though if they have money, they sometimes fail to participate and buy that work. This was very important because this asset class not historically only have the value, store of value, but also it has outperformed most of the traditional investment module that we have, including the bond and the equity and the S&P 500 in the last 20, 25 years. I think this was very important, something that is profitable, something that is shareable with the world, something that we love anyways. We all are the part of conversation of art, but it was not part of our life. So this was something that was needed, be it by ArtFi or somebody else tomorrow. But yeah, the blockchain is solving a lot of problems. And in this case, our case, we are making it democratized, such an asset class which was inaccessible for centuries.
No, that's amazing to hear that art is actually outperforming the S&P. I know a lot of expensive artworks at least are a store of value, but you have to also account for the inflation that they should be appreciating. But to keep up with the other asset class, it's an amazing diversification, but not everyone has access to it because there are a lot of barriers to entry. Obviously, one of them being having a lot of capital, but I'm sure there's other barriers that ArtFi is also breaking down. Maybe you can touch on that.
Yeah, so as we started with the barriers, and when we talk about the technology, we always talk about the barriers, right? So what barriers technology is eliminating, basically, we need to discuss that. It's very important to let people know that there was a problem. That is why there is a solution using technology. And the problem was, the one problem that you have highlighted very well is the high ticket size, right? Very heavy ticket size to enter. And then the other barriers, which includes a dependency on the institutions. The awareness is not there. So there's a lot of dependency on the buying side and selling side, both the sides. Holding period is very long in this asset class. And it's not liquid in nature, as liquid as gold or any other asset class. What blockchain is solving here is making it liquid, making it tradable, making it shareable, and making it less reliant on the institutions or any other parties, which includes the galleries, art connoisseurs, individuals, dealers. So we are using the blockchain technology to make it liquid. I'll tell you how briefly, because when you fractionalize and tokenize a Pablo Picasso, for example, into 10,000 pieces, you not only eliminate the barriers, but you're also making it super accessible for the people to participate with a smaller ticket size. So that eliminates one barrier of the heavy ticket size barrier. And then, since it is a non-fungible token in character, in nature, it attracts all the qualities and characteristics of non-fungible tokens, such as staking, borrowing, lending, and trading on secondary marketplace. So suddenly a tangible asset becomes non-fungible token and is attracting all the characteristics, which includes trading also. So suddenly it becomes non-liquid asset class to suddenly very much liquid asset class, which includes lending, borrowing, and trading. And then you don't need to really rely on major institutions to buying and selling. You can come to a platform like ArtFi. They're using AI tools to let people understand what was the historical price appreciation record for XYZ, any artist. So let's say you are from X part of the world and you want to participate in the masters of that particular region. You just need to type the name of the artist and AI will tell you what was the performance of this artist in the last 20 years. And what is the annual return this artist particular has given based on the auction record and the sale price available in the market. And then you make your choice. So rather than selecting $1,000 in one artist, you can actually choose $200 shares in 5 different artists. So basically, it's a stock market kind of feel. But using technology, it is also solving a major problem of authenticity, provenance, trails on chain. So now everything that is expensive in nature can be tracked easily, that what I own belongs to who and belonged to who in past.
It's very cool. And I love that you mentioned about the investment horizon, which I feel like I forgot about in the beginning, in that you buy a piece of art and it's illiquid, or you can't sell it for years, or you have to find that one buyer, or you have to hold on to it until it appreciates. You can't just sell one piece of it like you could in tokenization for a very small amount. I love that part. But one thing I'm wondering about the art is there needs to be some transformation from the traditional art world into the tokenization Web3 world. How do you get the artist or the piece of art onboarded? You know, do you have to have agreeance of the artist of, hey, we're going to put this into Web3 and partner up with the traditional artists and also the artists that have passed and they are no longer here. How can we get that actually onboarded into Web3?
Yeah, so this is very important part, and this requires explanation about how art business works in general. If either we are building this company or not, this is the way this is the way the art business functions. So what happens is there is a $65 billion annual sales of this market coming out from primarily 6 to 7 auction houses like Sotheby's, Christie's, Bonhams, etc. So the market functions in a way where seller can be an artist who is alive, but most of the cases in the blue chip art segment, artists are not alive, because by the time it becomes that expensive, there is a mortality with all human beings, right? So they are no more with us. But even in the case of Banksy, or in the case of an artist of that age, for example, then artist or anyone who holds the artwork, can be a collector, can be a family, can be a state, can be a foundation. They go and sell the artwork using the existing Web2 auction companies. They consign the artwork, they charge 20% seller commission. This is an ongoing process anyways. So we are not inventing a new way of selling art. We are just inventing a new way of facilitating the small ticket size people to buy art. Art is buying and selling anyways. $65 billion market is there. We are just trying to tell those people who are selling through big auction houses to come sell through ArtFi. They are anyways going to get money rather than selling to one individual. Or if you sell to 10 people, it doesn't matter for them. They will get their money because they want to sell their artwork. How we are leveraging technology and giving them extra benefit to sell through ArtFi is that we are telling them that you will be the part of royalty even after the painting is sold. This never happened in the history of art. If you're an artist and it's sold, you're not part of the royalty. Your relationship with the painting is permanently disconnected. If I own a piece of art my grandfather gifted me from Pablo Picasso or from David Hockney or from somebody else, I will sell it through Sotheby's and Christie's, and the day I sell, my relationship is over with the painting. In this case, using blockchain, if we have our royalty going on in each trade on secondary marketplace, there are 4 kinds of royalties can be distributed. One goes to the seller or creator or collector who is selling the artwork. One goes to the people who are buying. One obviously goes to the company, and one goes to the people who stake the artwork non-fungible token and get more royalties towards it. So I think we are just facilitating this business, expanding into a more bigger market size by bringing the smaller ticket size. Rather than competing with the existing business houses, we are complementing them to make the business size much bigger.
I love it. And how long has your team been working on this? And what's the stage at with people can tokenize or go to the marketplace and look at what art they can buy?
Yeah, we have been building since 28 months now. And we all have every departments of ArtFi is in-house team, because we need to rely on a certain kind of content writer, designer. Aesthetic in art is very important. So we are building an art company on blockchain, rather than we are building a blockchain company on and art is the product. Mm-hmm. So we decided to be an art company on blockchain. And that is why we had limitations to do a lot of things which a crypto company does in general. We are very much reputation conscious. We have a lot of fear of losing the respect around the world. Myself, have been into the business for 14 years. Now, after 28 months, we are in a position where we have announced our first art offering on 14th, which is day after tomorrow. And this is very interesting to know. This is from one of the biggest Bollywood actor. His name is Salman Khan. And very few people know that he also paints. He's a very good quality of fine artist that we have. And he has been painting since 20 years, but people don't have any idea. Now, for the first time, people, his fans, not only with cinema, but with his painting also will be able to participate like cinema. This is happening on 14th, 2 days later. And we have around 25 million TVL that will be coming one by one on our platform. Our platform is ready. We are going for the sale of the first offering on 14th, and 17th is our token listing on 4 or 5 exchanges, including Cowen, Gate, Bitgate, MMCrypto, and more to announce. And and the business is, as I explained, it will be getting the artworks, fractionalizing it, and making it accessible for the people. The token will be utilized for the transactions among the artworks buying and selling, and it will be a utility token for the marketplace. The more exposure you want towards the exclusivity on any kind of offering, you will have to play with your token around it. So that's the use cases of the ArtFi token. And yeah, we are ready now. We are actually ready.
I love it, and I love that the first major partnership is with somebody who's more well-known celebrity in the film world, which is, it's bringing us a lot more attention. Sometimes artists is very niche, and this is somebody that, hey, they also do art, but they're loved by millions around the world. So I think that's a great first partnership. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out in the opening sale. And I wanted to geek out on the blockchain part for a minute. I saw something around the blockchain with the tokenization. There was Sui network. Maybe there's other blockchains. Can you talk about the underlying infrastructure and what blockchain technology works best for art and for tokenization?
I think the pioneer of tokenization and NFTs is Ethereum, of course. And we all have started knowing about it from Ethereum. But now, since the technology is evolving, and as we have seen in past with other technologies that have evolved, and we have been a part of it, we have seen that as technology evolves, the newer version of the technologies or any other enterprises that comes and bring that technology, they always have a different kind of USPs for the user interface, for the user acquisitions, for the onboarding, easy onboarding process. In this case, when we talk about a new technology that is not being well distributed among the Web2 and our normal daily life people, I think with going, we were building on Polygon for very obvious reasons, that it was a layer 2 of Ethereum. So that gives the very upper hand to Polygon anyways. And the low gas fee, because we wanted to make it very accessible to people. And imagine if you're selling $100 fraction and people are paying $50, $30 gas fees, which was kind of not doing justice to democratizing such a massive asset class. Mm-hmm. But moving forward, we are now building on Sui for a lot of other reasons. First of all, their technology team behaves as a very professional enterprise corporate structure. They support the ecosystem, companies who are building on Sui. They have a different kind of mindset in terms of getting adoption. and they're not behaving like a typical Web3 company, because the sustainability and a longevity only comes when there is a discipline in the enterprise structure. And I like that. And I think these kind of companies and the founders and the people will bring the validation and trust in the ecosystem that, hey, there will be no more Luna Terra, there will be no more FTX. There are serious enterprises that are coming here to build and to actually create the adoption for the blockchain, various sectors, including the tokenization. I feel every other blockchain has different kind of features and USPs, but I like the way how SUI object mechanism and especially for the real world asset, their ZK login. Now they have introduced the SUI bridge yesterday. I think the only problem that I personally faced with SUI was that it was not connected to any other chains. However, the speed is amazing. The gas fee is very less. So this kind of problem that we had earlier, it is always solved with the other technology, other blockchain. But I feel when you go deep down into the immutability concept of a real world asset object tokenization, I think SUI will be having a very good future because of its technology layer and because of this object mechanism that they have.
Great insights. And, I love Ethereum, but I understand the struggles as well. Polygon is also a great choice, but I have been particularly interested in the SUI network. I know it's built on the Move virtual machine, which is faster, newer programming language, and I think it's a good choice for growing, and it's very forward-looking into the future. So best of luck in that. And I want to go back to the Salman Khan launch and the other primary launches. I feel like this one is of particular interest. Normally when something's just launching at the beginning, maybe there's limited pieces and people want to get in right away. Can you explain, if I wanted to get a part of it or and get involved in the initial launch and also follow along for the future art launches, what is the best way to get involved and get a piece before it's gone?
For this particular launch, I will tell you, because this is not a general practice of how ArtFi will bring the offering and offer the painting to the community. But since this was our token generation event, this was the launch of the company. This was associated with the community building. This was primarily to create awareness in the Web3 ecosystem who don't understand art in general. In general, the awareness of art is very less. So in our community, Web3, it is very, very less. So this was a very different and unique kind of approach that we had to take to create awareness, create the financial literacy about art as an asset class. So we had to do a lot. It was a mix of a lot of attempt. But in general, for this particular offering, you have to buy Genesis offering pass, which is a $10 pass. So think I wanted to say this, but since you have asked a very good question, that will cover this answer. So imagine that asset class, which was inaccessible for centuries. Imagine this is now available for a ticket size of $10. So when you talk about technology, this is the true use case of technology. And in the history, if someone will write a paper after 50 years, they can write that when the blockchain came, there was a company that democratized an asset class, which was only the talk of the 4 or 5% of the world. And this company made the art accessible for $10 ticket, which was called that time Genesis offering pass. For me, this is a historical pass, because this not only allows you to engage with the blue chip pieces of art that where we have collected. So Genesis offering pass gives you access to collect the fraction among 4 different artists and 10 different art pieces. Okay. And these are big masters, including Salman Khan. Including Salman Khan, there is another artist called Sasha Jaffrey. He's top 5 best-selling living artist right now we have. Then another masters from South Asian artist called Ram Kumar, and another masters from the South Asian artist called V.S. Gaitonde. They are the masters and maestro of South Asian modern and contemporary fine art. These artwork were collected by different collectors, and this is consigned to ArtFi so that we can make it accessible for not number of people to participate. The pass gives you opportunity in $10 to not only get the fraction ownership in one of the painting based on the prices. For Salman Khan, you need 3 GOPs. For Sasha Jaffrey, you need 5 GOPs, for an example, or 6 GOPs. So every artwork has a different price. For Ram Kumar, you only need 1 GOPs. But this is the ticket. This is the ticket to enter into a fine art business. And this also, we also have 1% token airdrop that we wanted to incentivize. After every exam, after every class, there should be a break. There should be a lunch break. There should be a reward. I feel in the last 2 years, I have been pushing so much of content about the education of art that I myself sometimes don't believe how I could be so much into this, that I have like thousands and thousands of posts and so many blog and articles from different narrative and whatnot. This is the reward for the ecosystem and community who have been part of the ArtFi ecosystem and also trusted us to buy the GOP passes. They will be rewarded with the airdrop. And in general, you don't need to do much. You just need to come and see what offering is live. If you don't find any of the offering, that is your choice. You can always go to upcoming offerings on our website, and you can always register your interest in upcoming offerings, and you will be notified once the offering becomes live. It is very simple process. We have made a Web2 company. Underlying the Web3 is functioning, but it is a very much Web2 interface. We accept debit card, credit card, all kind of payments. We accept Binance Pay, Solana Pay, all wallets, exchanges wallets, and other than decentralized wallets. You will not feel any kind of hassle, to be honest, in terms of acquiring a piece of art or fraction of art.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great to hear on the payment side and about all the offerings as well. I can leave a link to the offerings and to any information about the listings as well, and all the socials and everything in the show notes below. And it's right around the corner. So now's a good time to be paying attention, and best of luck to you and your team on the initial launches and starting to revolutionize this multi-billion dollar industry, and bring it to more people in the world, because it's something that only the 1% had access to, and I feel like a lot of people would want to invest and diversify in this. So best of luck to you and your team.
Ashton, thank you very much for asking such an important question for the people who video. It's not easy for everybody to ask questions around art and its business. It's a very different kind of business. Thank you very much for having me today, and I appreciate your time. And thank you on behalf of ArtFi team.